What is up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is JenksTCG, and today we're going to be covering Dragapult VMAX in the standard format and everything that you need to know about the deck. So let's get into it. Alright, so here's the deck list. We're going to be getting right into it, and today we're talking all about Dragapult VMAX. Dragapult VMAX is a 320 HP behemoth that uses the attack Max Phantom for 2 psychic energies to deal 130 damage to the active Pokemon, and then spread 5 damage counters to the opponent's bench. This card is extremely powerful and has been dominating online tournaments that have been occurring recently, and overall just creates a very popular and powerful spread deck in the standard format. When combined with cards like Zigzagoon and Giratina and other things like that, you can use Scoop Up Net to use those cards over and over again, which is going to create super powerful effects like spreading damage counters and discarding special energies, as well as using Mewtwo Mind Report to guarantee that you have a supporter for your next turn, or to guarantee that game-winning boss's order. Along with that, the list is sporting Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime has the Scoop Up block ability, which is going to prevent the opponent from using their own Scoop Up Nets or Super Scoop Ups on Pokemon that have damage counters on them. This is extremely powerful in this deck because it's going to allow us to spread damage and prevent our opponent from picking up Pokemon that we can knock out for easy knockouts, or prize cards. Along with that, we're going to be rocking Power Plant today. You can play Shrine of Punishment in this deck, but I think Power Plant overall is solid to prevent Dedenne-GXs. It can cripple a opponent's start, and if you're able to get it turn 1 after you set up, it's extremely powerful. Also combined with Reset Stamp, you can create late game combinations that prevent your opponent from drawing any cards, and honestly just allow you to bring a comeback into the game. Mewtwo and Mew GX is also seeing a rise, being popularized by Henry Brand, our current world champion, so Power Plant is going to be helpful against any archetypes that Mewtwo and Mew end up being played in. But yeah, other than that, we have Horror Energy, which is the new psychic special energy, and Horror Energy says when the Pokemon this is attached to gets damaged, the attacking Pokemon gets 2 damage counters on them. So another card that is just going to be allowing us to spread a ton of damage all over the board and find our way to 6 prizes. So with that being said, let's hop into some games. Alright, so starting off our games today, we're going to be going against a Lightning, Fire, Psychic, and Colorless deck. As always, I will be choosing heads for the coin flip, and we actually win the coin flip. And with Dragapult VMAX, you want to go first so that you can get that turn 1 energy attachment and Dragapult set up, so you can start swinging with Dragapult VMAX on turn 2. Looking at our opening hand, we actually have a mulligan, so we're going to just opt to draw a new hand and see what we can do from there. So this hand is pretty good. We do not have an energy, but hopefully we can Jirachi Stellar Wish into an Energy Spinner or something like that in order to get an energy. So our opponent's still selecting their Pokemon, and let's go. So looking at our hand, it's pretty good, but like I said, we don't have an energy. So I'm going to go ahead and quick ball away the Cynthia and go through our deck. I'm going to grab this Jirachi for sure, and looking at the rest of the deck, just making sure that we didn't prize anything too important. It doesn't look like anything super valuable from the first start. Looks like we prized a Research and a Horror Energy. But other than that, I think we're chilling. So just gonna grab this Jirachi to increase our odds of finding a Energy Spinner. Go ahead and Stellar Wish. We find another Scoop Up Net, so not ideal. But we're gonna go ahead, drop this Jirachi down. Scoop Up Net are active. Move this new Jirachi into the active, and then Stellar Wish. We end up not finding what we need, but we can still keep going. We're gonna grab this Power Plant to potentially limit our opponent and what he can do on his turn. I'm going to Scoop Up Net this Jirachi, kind of seeing this Scoop Up Net cycle, because this energy attachment is super important. I'm going to Stellar Wish again, and we don't find it, but we find a Switch. So once again, gonna switch again, and with this new Jirachi, hopefully we find an Energy Spinner. And no, we don't find an Energy Spinner. So not ideal. We had to burn a lot of cards in order to do this, but I think that we can just grab this Power Plant, and from here we're going to bench our Dragapult V, put the Power Plant into play, and pass so that the next turn we can use Cynthia. So now onto our opponent's turn. Our Jirachi doesn't wake up. They're going to draw for turn, and we still don't know what they're playing yet. Fire Flint, it looks like they're going to be playing that Baby Lounge deck, which is a super explosive 1 prize attacking deck that will be able to knock out our Dragapult Vs with ease if they can get going. So Fiery Flint going to discard 2 fire energies, I believe, yep, and grab 4 fire energies. Going to quick ball away another fire energy, so there's now 3 fire energies in the discard, and grab Victini V. It's actually possible that this is Ability Zard with the Victini V. Welder going to hit the board attaching 2 fire energies, drawing 3. Stellar Wish comes down, I'm just going to look at the top 5 and choose a trainer card. Boss's Order it is, and yep, there's a Babylon, so, and Zacian, so yeah, I would expect that this is Babylon's. Scoop Up Net's going to bring that Jirachi back up, and it's possible, I think they're going to use Spreading Flames here. Don't really see a reason for them to knock out this Jirachi, but it could be wrong. Attachment going to go to the Babylon, and Energy Burst, so they actually do knock out our Jirachi, which is fine, I guess. So, we're on a little bit of a back foot. We do need to find an energy, and with this, I think we're going to just go ahead and evolve to this Dragapult VMAX. I kind of just want to hold the rest of the stuff in my hand. Don't want to get rid of that power plant quite yet, because it could be useful later on. Cynthia, we're going to find ourselves a Psychic Energy. Go ahead and use Stellar Wish. This is going to find us, we don't have a supporter, but we can Mine Report one to the top, so I think we're good to just find Mysterious Treasure here, since we already have an attachment for next turn. I'm going to go ahead and Mysterious Treasure away this Boss's Order, and grab, I think, of the Inkay this turn, just so that we can get attackers going, and against this Babylon's deck is going to be quite important to do so when they can consistently knock out our Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and bench that Inkay, and with that we're going to Mine Report so that we get a guaranteed supporter for next turn, because as you can see our hand's not great, and from here just go ahead and pass back to our opponent. So still not a great setup, but we're getting stuff going. We have our VMAX in play. Ideally we would have been able to max Phantom for 130, but looks like next turn our Jirachi is likely going to go down, and then we'll just swing into this Victini or whatever becomes active and spread some damage around. So Energy Burst is going to happen again. Our opponent doesn't have much, it seems, but it's possible it's a bluff, or they're just choosing not to play anything. They do have Zacian, so if they had a poor hand, they probably would have just used Zacian. I'm going to touch this Psychic Energy and go ahead and Cynthia. Draw a fresh 6. Looking at this hand, it's pretty good. We can find another Dragapult. I'm going to go ahead and Energy Spinner, grabbing a Psychic Energy, and then since we already attached for turn, I'm going to go ahead and treasure this away and grab our Malamar. We can get that going. Put this Malamar into play, and Power Plant is going to prevent us from using Dedenne. I don't expect to get knocked out this next turn, so I'm trying to think here. I think we're okay to just sit on this hand. If we grab a Jirachi or get a Jirachi, that could be quite useful. So I don't expect this Dragapult to die quite yet. So I think we're alright to just max Phantom for 130. We do know that the opponent has Scoop Up Net, so putting this damage on Jirachi might not be ideal. But at the same time, we can set up some multi-price turns. I think we're just going to load it all onto the Zacian, so it doesn't get moved. If we can get another 50 on this Zacian, it also is going to allow us to Boss's Order it up and smack kick for 130. Switch is going to come down. He's going to go into the Jirachi. Looking at this, I think we just have to hope that he can't knock us out. We would need an energy and quite a bit of other energy. This Heat Factory is going to come in play, which is actually pretty good for us because our we can now use our Dedenne to draw more cards. But looking at this, if we do get knocked out, we're going to get a little punished by not having our Dragapult V in play, but I think based on the hand, this was probably the right thing. So there's the Scoop Up Net. Going to go into the Babylon. Looking at his hand, he has 4 cards, so Dedenne is going to come down, he's going to draw 6, and I guess he's going to just try and hope to hit the 7 fire energies that he needs in order to knock out this Dragapult. So I don't believe he's used Heat Factory. We can check that real quick. I wasn't quite paying attention. Okay, he played Heat Factory, did not use it. We're going to see the Energy Retrieval, grabbing 2 fire energies to his hand. Fiery Flint, going to discard 2 more and grab 4. So at this point, I would imagine our opponent has knockout. Oh, he actually only grabs 2 fire energies. He's going to ditch 1 for Heat Factory, drop to 3. Fire Crystal. Alright, so now at this point, I would imagine he has the 7 energies to knock us out. Gonna put us in quite a rough position. Yep, there's the Energy Retrieval. Definitely gonna have this knockout. And Fireball Circus should KO us here. See in a second, and there we go. Down goes our Dragapult. So the good news here is we will be able to have a response KO to this most likely because of our Malamar. So we can set up a regular Dragapult V and then use Jet Assault, I believe. Yeah, Jet Assault to knock out this Lissafon. We actually do draw the Dragapult V, so that's pretty solid. I'm gonna go ahead and attach that Horror Energy, Quick Ball away our Dragapult VMAX. Good thing we have the other one in the deck. With this, I think I'm gonna just grab this Jirachi. Looking at the board, that seems fine. We can grab this Jirachi, go ahead and Dedenne for 6. And we're looking for a Switch or Scoop Up, which we don't find either, but we do find Cynthia. So I think we might want to put this Dragapult in play. We can just get another one going, and then I will go ahead and Cynthia play this hand. Reset Stamp would be really good here, and we actually don't find anything we need, so it's likely that we're gonna lose. So I'm just gonna go ahead and Psychic Recharge, attach this here, and go ahead and let our opponent see if he has the win. So no stamp or anything is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. If we had a Dragapult set up and I just put the Dragapult V into play, we would have been in a better position, but I didn't expect him to. Oh, and we see a concession. So I think we would have lost that game for sure. It's possible he ran out of energies. I wasn't able to check his resources before he conceded, but that is going to be a win for us. So I mean, I guess what's there to be learned is I probably should have just set up a Dragapult V on the bench and taken the risk. The only downside is we would have lost the VMAX in our hand, and our hand would have been dead if that power plant didn't get moved. But overall, not a bad game. We got to see the spreading potential, and yeah, let's hop into another one. Alright, so we have our next opponent here. We have Freako663 with Lightning, Grass, Metal, and Psychic. Not sure what type of deck this is yet, but here comes the coin flip. We actually win the coin flip. This is really good for us, so we're going to elect to go first just so we can get that turn 1 energy attachment down. And looking at this hand, we do have the Dragapult V and an energy attachment, so not bad. Looking at the rest of the hand though, it's quite a few resources to discard if this quick ball finds the Dedenne. Looks like our opponent's going to be playing some electro powered deck, so some electric type thing, potentially Pikarom, but we will find out shortly. And let's see this next card. We get a mulligan, and we're gonna not drop that. All right, so he is playing Pikarom. Looking at this hand, it's not stellar. Don't have a ton to work with. We can Horror Energy are active, and other than that, I mean, I think I just want to take the risk that we don't get knocked out. I'm gonna go ahead and bench the Mind Report so we don't lose. Not the greatest play, but it will prevent us from losing if we get knocked out. And other than that, I mean, we can quick ball into Dedenne next turn, assuming it's in the deck, and get swinging if we don't get knocked out. So I'm going to go ahead and take the risk and pass over to the opponent and see what he's capable of doing. In the standard format, Pikarom is a little bit slower, and it really requires a hop-off turn depending on the build they're playing in order to get a big 210 HP knockout. But if they can get the 3 energies on the Pika with an electric power, Tag Bolt will one-shot our Dragapult V. So definitely something to be careful of. And let's see what our opponent can do. Quick Ball is going to be coming down, discarding the boss's order. Going to be grabbing another Pikarom. Power Plant would have been really good in this situation, not based on our hand, but I've found that against Pikarom, if you can turn 1 Power Plant them, it can actually slow them down a lot. So Guzma Hala going to come down, likely going to find Speed Energy, Power Plant, or Thunder Mountain, and a Big Charm probably. So if he attaches Speed Energy to the active, this is actually pretty good for us because we can Giratina it off and set our opponent back a turn. So there's the Thunder Mountain, Speed Energy, and the Big Charm. Gonna see this all come down. Maybe not all of it, but all right. So Speed Energy is gonna hit the bench, which is gonna prevent us from Giratinaing it. Very good play from our opponent. And I think that he's just conceding the fact he won't be attacking this turn. So yep, that's the case. And now looking at our hand, it's actually quite good. And honestly, we can still remove this energy, which I think is actually pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and VMAX, just get it going, attach this Psychic Energy. And then I want to... Let's see. I'm going to Quick Ball first, just make sure that what we want is in the deck. So Quick Ball going to come down. Our Dedenne is in the deck, so that's good. Looks like we prized Malamar, or no, did not prize Malamar. Looking at the rest, not looking like a whole lot to be concerned about. There's a Power Plant prized, and a Jirachi. Our energy count is fine, so I think we're chilling. I'm gonna grab this Dedenne, and I'm actually gonna go for a little bit of a risky play. I'm gonna go ahead and Great Catcher up this Pikarom and just try and hit this Giratina so that we can remove the Speed Energy and set our opponent back. Then I'm gonna draw 6. Pretty good hand. We actually get Dragapult V and a Jirachi. I think I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper. Just go ahead and try to find this Giratina. So research, discard, draw 7. We actually whiff, so a little unfortunate, but that's all right. Looking at this hand though, I don't think we really want to do anything else, so put our opponent in a little bit of a better situation than they would have been. I'm gonna go ahead and hold the escape board for later, and then I will max Phantom for 130, put 5 on the bench. So our risky play didn't end up paying off, but oh well. You know, if it did work, it would have been in a really good position, but I still think that we're in a pretty good position. Our opponent's likely going to full blitz this turn, but as long as we can set up another Dragapult VMAX or Dragapult V in the background, we should be fine and get some knockouts going. So the Lightning Energy attachment is going to come down. We know that our opponent has Thunder Mountain in his hand, so we're going to see this attack this turn. I would assume so. And yeah, so there comes the Thunder Mountain, and now we just wait to see what our opponent can do. Electro Power going to come down. Because of Dragapult V's huge 320 HP, it's very unlikely to get knocked out this turn. The research is going to discard some good cards from our opponent like Stamp and the board that doesn't have much use right now. And yeah, with this fresh 7, we're going to see what our opponent can do. Full Blitz going to come down, hit us for 180 damage, quite a good amount. We have to be careful about Malolana or anything else like that that could heal this Pikarom, and the Pika is actually going to take quite a bit of damage due to the Horror Energy. So 130, we are going to be able to knock out this Pikarom, which is actually pretty good for us. So there's the Giratina. It's actually the next card, so that's a little unfortunate, but no worries. The rest of this hand, I mean, kind of chilling. I wouldn't mind getting a Power Plant into play, so I think we're going to go ahead and net this Mewtwo, just put it back into our hands so that we can redraw it or draw into Quick Ball or something later to grab it so that we can guarantee a supporter for our next turn if we don't have one. And then I think I'm just going to bench this. Actually, no, I'm just going to Cynthia, find a new 6, and see what we can get. And looking at that, pretty good. We don't need the Mine Report anymore, so we just freed up a bench spot, which is pretty good. And yeah, we can go ahead and VMAX this turn. I'm going to go ahead and treasure away this Cynthia. I don't think we're going to be needing to keep the cards that are in our hand for the next turn. So I'll go ahead and actually Malamar might be pretty good too, set up, just so we can get those attachments flowing. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Inkay. Probably should have grabbed the Inkay with the Quick Ball just so that the treasure can get us the VMAX next turn if need be. But yeah, I think we're just going to grab the Inkay and Max Phantom, knock out the active, and put 5 damage counters onto the bench Pikarom. And the Malamar is mainly in this deck for the mirror, and just to keep pace with other decks that can get more aggressive than you faster. In the mirror, sometimes the mirror plays hammers, and those hammers can be quite disruptive in a energy attachment based deck where you can only attach 1 energy per turn and it doesn't have a ton of acceleration. So the Malamar is in the deck to be able to sort of limit that, and it can really bring you back into a mirror that you might be losing. So Quick Ball going to come down, discard a Lightning Energy. Jirachi going to come into play. We weren't able to find the Power Plant off the Cynthia, but we did draw it off the prize cards, so depending on how the games go, if our opponent goes low on prizes, we can hit him with the Stamp Plant, and he might not be able to come back into it. Coco Prism hitting the board. It's a little late for that guy. Usually we see Coco Prism hit the board a bit earlier. Our opponent's going to attach the Speed Energy, draw 2. Possible that we can see a really big Tag Bolt here, which would not be ideal, but luckily because of Dragapult's huge HP, I think we're going to be in an okay spot considering he can't boss order anymore. We have this hand, it's not terrible. Don't have a ton to work with as this Pikarom will knock out our Dragapult, but we will be able to go into Jirachi and hopefully find something else to work with. And as long as we can max Phantom this turn, this Horror Energy is going to put 2 damage counters on the active and going to allow us to win the game. So as long as we can get into a Dragapult or actually find a Psychic Energy to use Jet Assault, we will win the game. So this Malamar might actually come in handy if we can find a Mysterious Treasure, because then we will win the game since we have Psychic Energy in the discard. So wrote the Jirachi, go ahead and we find our Mysterious Treasure. So actually the Malamar ends up helping us win the game here off of the Marnie. And yeah, Jet Assault's going to allow us to do 140, which is enough damage to knock out this Pikarom. Going to go ahead and Psychic Recharge onto the Dragapult V, and because we are switching from the bench to the active, the damage will be 140, and that is a GG's to our opponent, and a good game played. So with that being said, I'm going to hop into the last game of the video, and I will see you there. Alright, so our last game of the video is going to be against Beaten, and he is also looking to be playing the typing that our opponent was playing, so it's possible we just hit another Pikarom. So let's get into it. He has a Lightning Coin. We end up losing the coin flip, so I would assume our opponent's going to choose to go first, which he does. And this is definitely going to put us a step back, but if that Speed Energy comes onto the active, it's possible we can set him back a turn. So we're going to start this Jirachi and see what we can do. Our hand is not great. We need a supporter, but luckily we have Stellar Wish, so this Treasure is likely going to target Dragapult V just so we can get our energy attachment down and get swinging. Opponent's still selecting their Pokemon. Yeah, so we have Power Plant, which could be really good. Depending on how our opponent's draws go, we could limit him in a sense. So our opponent starts Jirachi as well, and it's going to Stellar Wish, look at the top 5, pick a trainer card. Here we go. He grabs a power, not going to be super useful on turn 1, but if he can stack him up, that's going to be super detrimental in the endgame. And all we see is a pass from our opponent after that flip. So it's possible he has a supporter card in hand and doesn't want to play it, but combination of things. So looking at this hand, it's actually pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and Quick Ball away this Psychic Energy, because we have the double horror in our hand. Look through our prizes real quick. We have our Malamar line, which is pretty good. We prize 2 Jirachis, so that could be important. Looking at the rest, not a whole lot that seems to matter. We do have our Giratina and our Zigzagoon in our Mind Report. We have all that. We did prize a Boss's Order and a few supporters, quite a few supporters actually. We prized 1 Cynthia and 1 Research. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this Dragapult. Based on the information, I'm going to thin a level more, get rid of this stamp, and go ahead and find this Inkay. Seems like a pretty good Pokemon to set up right now, if anything happens. And now that we have the Psychic Energy in this card, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then Stellar Wish into Cynthia. I did realize that we could have grabbed a Dedenne, so that was a little bit of a blunder on my part, but now we have a supporter, and we can actually continue to play cards. So I'm going to go ahead and Power Plant, and then Cynthia to draw 6. So we actually get a pretty solid hand. We have a lot of stuff going for us on the next couple turns, and looking at this, I think we're good to just pass. I could get aggressive and attack this Jirachi, get some damage counters on the board, which I don't hate. We only get punished if he can full blitz, so I actually don't think that's a bad idea. I'm gonna go ahead and use this Scoop Up Net to pick up the Jirachi. Go ahead and save that switch for later, and bench this Jirachi back down, and go ahead and put some damage on the board. Just 10, but now we have the Horror Energy in play. Might not have been the best play, but at least we have some damage counters on the board that could help us in the later game. So this Power Plant is going to be in play, and hopefully keep our opponent from doing anything. Stellar Wish going to come down, find another card. He ends up finding the Tag Call, so this should get our opponent rolling a little bit more. Possibly going to grab Guzma Hala and the Pika with a combination of that Speed Energy, Big Charm, and Thunder Mountain. There's the Speed Energy. Opponent's going to draw 2. Lots of draw in this new format Pikarom with Speed Energy. There comes the Thunder Mountain, and there goes our Power Plant. Switch going to come down, putting new Jirachi into the active. Our Mr. Mime in the deck could prevent these Jirachis from getting lifted. Unlikely that he plays Scoop Up Net, but it's possible. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Stellar Wish grabs a Volkner, gonna set him up for next turn. So now we know that the opponent has a supporter in hand for next turn. Electro Power, lots of Electro Powers. Does he have something spicy going on? Possible that he has the Quick Ball and doesn't grab a Lightning Energy, interestingly enough. So it's possible. Alright, so the Lightning's gonna come down. Oh, okay, so now the Coco's gonna hit the board and we're gonna get knocked out. Oh, nope, not quite. So we actually did get very punished by putting our Dragapult V into the active by our opponent's hand, which we suspected to not be too much, and it turned out being a lot. So if you actually wish the Coco Prism off of this 6 cards, could be in a really, really good spot considering these powers are burned, and he actually does with the Switch and or the Coco Prism. So, and we get the Thunder Mountain. Great position for us now. Possibly could have played a little bit safer and not put the Dragapult V in the active, but never punished, I guess. Definitely not a good mindset that you want to have when playing Pokemon. But yeah, so we're gonna evolve to the Dragapult V and go ahead and Cynthia, find ourselves some more cards. And looking at this, we actually find our Malamar, so we can get some more attachments flowing. Go ahead and Psychic Recharge onto the bench guy. Looking at this hand, we have Treasure, which we could get the Scoop Up Block Mime, but I'm going to take the guess that he doesn't play Scoops, so I don't think we need to use it yet, and it can be useful for that Giratina once that Pikarom comes active. Also use it to find Dragapult VMAX on the next turn. So I think we're going to go ahead and Max Phantom, which will take out this active, and then I think because of Big Charm, 150, 180, I'm going to go ahead and Max Phantom the active, put 3 counters onto this Dedenne, and the rest on the peaks. Actually, it probably should have been better on Jirachi. Maybe not. Not too sure yet. But we can always two-shot this Pikarom. I guess the argument is if the big charm comes down, we only needed one energy there, or one ping counter. So Stellar Wish gonna grab a skateboard. Second speed energy actually hits the Zekrom, so if he can attack this turn, we might be able to strip both of these speed energies off of the Pikarom with our Giratina that's in the deck. So gonna definitely see some use out of the Giratina this game. Tag Call gonna come down, grabbing the Raichu and a Guzmahala again. Stellar Wish once again. Gonna be finding a trainer card of some sorts. Volkner it is. And yeah, so we're gonna see a lot of stuff out of our opponent from this turn. We're definitely working with some stuff now. Here comes that Volkner, just grabbing the Quick Ball again. Looks like a shortage of lightning energies from our opponent. It's quite unfortunate. Quick Ball, here we go. Discards Guzmahala, grabs the Cocoa Prism. And with this, I expect our opponent to be able to attack this turn, considering there's 3 lightning energy. Discard. Into the Ancients comes down. Probably going to target the Pikarom and the Raichu. Yep. And there goes the Lost Zone. Coco. Escape Board coming onto the active. And now the Pikarom is in the active. And a full Blitz will hit us for 150 damage, so quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts it all on active, but possibly goes to the Raichu. Yep, so he's going to be setting up that Tandem Shock game plan. You do hit Boss's Order, which is quite strong. I'm worried about Malalana coming into play, which could get super annoying. But I'm going to go ahead and grab that Giratina. Just start removing some of these energies from play. Double speed energy. If our opponent doesn't have any switch cards, this could be a very rewarding play out quite nicely. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. Energy Spinner, grab a Psychic Energy, go ahead and attach this to our Dragapult V on the bench. Can do quite a bit of damage. And with this, we're in a pretty good spot. If I put some damage counters on this Jirachi, I can get that to have 2 HP left, and then this will have 6. So 7 or 8 HP on those guys. With some Zigzagoons, we could get there, but we've already burned quite a few nets. Dedenne. So I'm going to go ahead and Max Phantom this active, and then put these 5 counters onto Dedenne. Just start racking damage up on this Dedenne. Our math placement could have been a little bit better, but I think we're still in a pretty good spot. So 170 on the Pika. As long as we can knock out the Pikarom and the Dedenne, same time we'll win the game. This Raichu is likely going to start swinging, which is a bit scary, but you know, not too big of a deal. Another energy, and our opponent actually is stuck in the active, so that Giratina really came in clutch there, and now we're in quite a good spot. Unfortunately, we do not have the Zigzagoon to win the game this turn by getting this Dedenne into the active and then attacking it, but I think our best play is likely to swing into the boss's order, or swing into the Raichu, and then just make it so that it's very hard for our opponent to start doing stuff. I guess in a sense, if he lightning rides, we could be in some trouble. Yeah, maybe not ideal, but we're gonna go ahead and Max Phantom here, and then we're gonna put these counters on this Dedenne, and this is gonna set up a lot of knockouts. He's gonna have to go into the Jirachi. Tag Call coming down. Malalana could be super scary here. Yep, there it is. Definitely not ideal. Malalana probably going to heal the Raichu, considering it's in the active. Here we go. Discard 2 cards. We see the Scrapper and the Great Catcher come down, going into the Jirachi. Possible we see a Tandem Shock now, now that he doesn't have to use Lightning Ride. The attachment goes onto the peaks, and I think we're still in a fine position. Boss's Order comes down. This could get scary. Don't want him knocking out this. And there's the Lightning Ride. So he's actually going to use Lightning Ride and move. Tandem Shock would not have knocked us out, so I guess that's fair. We're in a pretty good spot still. This Power Plant is definitely going to limit what we can do this turn, which is a little annoying. but our opponent's at 3. We do get the research, very strong. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this energy here. And looking at this board, we put 5 counters on this. We just need the Zigzagoon to win. So the Goon is not in our discard. We have 3 quick balls left, so I think we're good. Just go ahead and research away this hand. I'm going to pick up this Giratina just to have another bench space and research. Draw fresh 7. And looking at this hand, we don't quite have everything we want. Oh, we actually have Great Catcher, which will win us the game. So I'm going to go ahead and Mysterious Treasure away this boss, or Dragapult V, grab the Dragapult VMAX, and this Great Catcher is going to allow us to swing into the Pikarom and damage the Dedenne, which is going to give us the win. So here we go, big Great Catcher, discard 2, bring up the Pikarom, switch into the Dragapult VMAX, and Max Phantom for a whopping 5 prize cards. And yeah, honestly, this was a great game to showcase the power of Dragapult VMAX and what it can do with its spreading capabilities and hard-hitting numbers. So that's it for the gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the list, and if you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the links in the description. They'll take you to the Discord server that I set up, along with my other social medias, to stay up to date on everything that I'm doing. And yeah, if you liked what I'm putting out, support the channel, and thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys.